Welcome back. Everyone, in our previous lecture, we have learned about how to write Python programs in using variables, operators, conditional statements, and loops. But imagine writing the same code again and again. Whenever you need it, it could be time consuming and difficult to maintain. That's why we gave a new concept of function command. A function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. By using functions, we can make our program shorter, more organized, easier to read, and simple to debug. In today's lecture, we will understand what is functions and why they are important, how to create and call them, and explore different types of function with practical examples. So let's get started. Functions. A function in Python is a block of organized, reusable code designed to perform a specific task. It encapsulates a sequence of statements that can take inputs, process them, and produce outputs. A program can contain different functions. Each function in a program may have one or more tasks to be performed. The main reasons for using Python are to improve the readability of code, improves the reusability of the code, as we can use the same function in any program rather than writing the same code again and again. Debugging the code becomes easier if you use functions because errors are easier to trace. Reduces the size of code as duplicate sets of statements are replaced by function call statements. Now, let's move on to the syntax of a function. Def function name parenthesis open parameters. A comment on what this function does. Statement. Explanation. The keyword def always occurs at the start of a function header. The function name comes to the def keyword. It follows the same naming rules as Python identifiers and should be unique. The parameters and arguments of a function are optional. A colon starts the function block. A good practice is to include a brief description of what the function does as a comment at the beginning of the block. This is referred to the docstring. There can be one or more valid statements in the function body. Statements must have proper indentation. A return statement, which is optional, can be used to return a value from the function. Now, let's write a small function in a program to understand how to write a function. First, defining a function. Let's write a small function in a program to understand how to define a function. Define a function, hello world. The function name is hello world. Using the def keyword, an empty pair of parentheses after hello world, which is the function name. End of the function header with a semicolon, with a colon. In function body, write the statement that print the following strings with proper indentation. That is, hello world, good morning, have a nice day, the function ends. Then call the function hello world outside the function body. Note, the function is executed only when it is called. So let us write the code in Python, that is ideally. Let me open the file. Wait to here. See, now def hello world, print hello world, print good morning, print have a nice day, print the function ends. Let us run the code, which is Control S. See, wait students, the result has been displayed. See, hello world, good morning, have a nice day, the function ends. It has been executed successfully. So let's move to the next, that is return statement in a function. The return statement is used to exit the current function that is being executed and to be transferred. Control back to the point where the function was called. This is the syntax, which is return statement in a function, that is return expression list or value. Then moving to the features of return statement. The return statement can contain an expression which is evaluated and resulting in the values is result returned. Alternatively, a value can be directly returned. It is a function return statement lacks an expression. The function will return none. Then, in a function lacks a return statement, that is as shown in the few functions in previous example. Then, uh, Python functions can return multiple values simultaneously. Take two integers a and b from the user using input function. Define three functions, add, average, sub, and mul, to perform average, subtraction, and multiplication on the given two parameters, A and B respectively, and print the result as shown in the example. See students, the function has been written, that is def add average a comma b, return a plus b divided by 2. Then def sub a comma b colon return a minus b. Then def mul a comma b colon return a into b. Then the user has been giving the input, that is a is equal to int of input, then b is equal to b int of input. Then printing the three functions result. So let us start running them. That is Control S, then F5. That you can see. Let me give the example. 5, 3. Then addition average of 5 plus 3 is 4. Then 5 minus 3 is 2. Then 5 into 3 is 15. Let me show the result in the interactive mode, that is ideally Python. See, I have given 5 and 3 as the input, then the result has been given. So moving to the next topic, that is argument. An argument is an expression passed to a function by its caller, enabling the function to perform the task. Arguments are elements within a comma separated list enclosed by parentheses in a function called expression. They are specified only in a function called statement, not in the declaration. Note the point. They are defined in the calling statement. Let me give an example in ideally Python. That is, giving a function means that is a user defined function. See, def grade. Grade is the name of the function. The name is the argument passed. Print hello is a string, then the variable name is given. Then grid name, that is Ashwin. Ashwin is the argument, but name is the parameter. The Ashwin will be sent to the name variable. Then here in the print statement, after hello Ashwin will be printing. Let me show you the result. That is Control S, then F5. See students, this is the result has been that produced by this program. Hello Ashwin. So let also see another example. That is, wait a second. Let me open a new file. So see, def add a comma b, then return a plus b, then result is equal to add 10 comma 20, then print the result. Here a and b are the parameters, but the actual arguments are, that is add 10 comma 20. Here 10 will be replacing the value in a, then 20 will be replacing the value in b. So if we are adding 10 plus 20, the result will be 30. So let me show you the result, that is Control S, then F5. See students, the 30 result that has been produced. See in the interactive mode. So moving upon to parameters. So mainly I have to give a note, that is arguments are not only defined in the calling function. They can be literally values, variables or expressions. So their actual values passed into the function when it is called. So note that and remember this point. Parameter. When you define a function, you list parameters inside the parentheses. You already have seen in the examples. Parameters act like a local variable with the function holding the values provided by arguments. They only exist while the function is executed. Temporary memory allocation. So, where here grade name age that has been be the parameters. They are placeholders in the function definition, which I have seen in the example, and they have received the values of the arguments, that is Ashwin and 25 during the calling statement. Then moving to the next topic, that is, so before that, let me show an example. Let's moving on to positional and keyword arguments. When a function is called, the values passed to it are called arguments. Python provides different ways to pass the arguments. The two most common types are positional arguments and keyword argument. Understanding them helps you call functions correctly and make your code more readable and flexible. First, positional arguments. Definition. In positional arguments, the values are assigned to the parameters based on their position. The order of arguments must match the order of parameters in the function definition. The syntax is function name, parenthesis open, value 1, comma value 2, that goes on, then parenthesis close. Then example code has been given here. I'll be working in ideally Python to show you the output. Next, moving upon to keyword arguments. In keyword arguments, each argument is passed using the parameter name. In keyword arguments, each argument is passed using the parameter name. The order of arguments does not matter. Then the syntax of the function is the function name parameter 1 is equal to value 1, comma parameter 2 is equal to value 2. Then example that the code has been given. I will be working in the ideally Python. Then difference between positional and argument and keyword argument. Positional arguments, the arguments are masked by position. Keyword arguments. Arguments are masked by parameter names. Order is important here. In keyword arguments, order is not important. And position arguments, simple and commonly used. In keyword arguments, most readable and flexible. Position arguments. Incorrect order gives incorrect results. Correct values are assigned even if order is changes. Then conclusion. Positional arguments. Values are passed according to their position. Keyword arguments. Values are passed using parameter names, making the code easier to read and reduce errors. So let me show the example codes in the ideally Python. Notice that the order of keyword arguments in the function call does not have to match the order in the function definition. This flexibility makes code more readable and self-explanatory, as the parameter name provide context to the values being passed. In summary, keyword arguments in Python allow you to pass arguments to a function using their parameters, names, enhancing code readability and making it easier to understand the purpose of each argument. Keyword only arguments in Python. By default, Python functions can accept both positional arguments and keyword arguments. Sometimes we may want a function to accept only keyword argument. To do this, place an asterisk before the parameters in function definition. Syntax of this function is def function name asterisk, then parameter 1, then parameter 2, then it goes on, then parenthesis close and a colon. Then give the function body. So let me show an example. Let me move to the ideally Python. That is, see, def name age asterisk comma name comma age print name comma age. Then the function has been called, that is name age, that is age is equal to 62 comma name is equal to Ramana. Name age, then name is equal to Ramamurthy, then comma age is equal to 62. So let us run the code, that is control S, then F5. So here Ramana is equal to 60, age 62, then Ramamurthy, then age is 62. So here this will produce an error, that is name is age Ramanan, then age is equal to 87. So output has been produced like Ramana 62, then Ramamurthy 62. Then type error is name age function takes 0 positional arguments but 2 were given explanation. Asterisk makes all parameters after it keyword only. The first two functions calls name work because the arguments are passed using their parameter names. The third function calls results in a type error because positional arguments are not allowed. Advantages: make functions called more readable, prevents mistakes caused by incorrect argument order, improves code clarity and maintainability. So moving on to next topic, that is default arguments in Python. Default arguments allow a function parameter to have a predefined value. If no value is provided during the function call, the default value is used. Syntax of this default argument. Def function name parameter 1 is equal to default value, then comma parameter 2 is equal to default value. Then give the function body. Important points of this default arguments. Function arguments can have default values in Python. A default value is assigned using assignment operator. The default value is used only when no value is passed for that parameter. If a value is provided during the function call, the passed value replaces the default value. Any numbers of parameters in function can have default values. Once a parameter has a default value, all parameters to its right must also have default values. Thereafter, non-default arguments cannot follow default arguments. Example is given here. Let me run in ideally Python. Next, wait, let me give the code in ideally Python. See students, def student name comma age is equal to 18, city is equal to Jaipur. So name is not given, but the age and city has default values. So print name, that is string comma name. then print age, then comma age, then print city as strings, then city. The three values which are black are variables. So let call the function that is student is equal to first time we are calling only the name. Then second time we are calling the name and age. In third time we are calling name, age and city. Let us run this. Control S then F5. So see students. First name is equal to 18. See age is equal to name is equal to Ashwin, sorry. Age is equal to 18, then city is equal to Jaipur. Then name is equal to Ashwin, then age is equal to 20, then city is equal to Jaipur. Then name is equal to Ashwin, then age is equal to 20, then city is equal to Chennai. So here you can see the difference in that is, we have changed the arguments in the last call function call statement. In last second statement, we have changed the age of Ashwin. In first one, we didn't change anything. So the default values in the function header has been printed as it is. So moving on to the next topic, that is, let me show an example of keyword argument, positional arguments, and default arguments. So here is the function that is def fun1, then that is function 1. The name is equal to Padma, comma age is equal to 12. Print name is age, that is then after that years old. Then name is equal to input and age is equal to int of input, because the both variables which is given here is brought from the user. So next we are getting the calling functions in 5 times. Here the 5 function call statements has been given here. First function statement, call the function by passing both name and age, that is fun1 parenthesis open name comma age. Then the second call function is call the function by passing the given name and age as 16. So fun1 name comma 16. Call the function by passing Padma's name and the given age, that is fun1 Padma comma age. Fourth, call the function by passing only the name fun1 name, then call the function without passing any arguments, that is only function name, that is fun1. So the sample input are Ashwin and 18, then output should be like Ashwin is 18 years old, Ashwin is 16 years old, Padma is 18 years old, Ashwin is 12 years old, Padma is 12 years old. This program demonstrates question arguments as function 1, that is name comma age. This program demonstrates positional arguments as function 1 as name comma age. Default arguments function 1 name and function 1. Passing a mix of user values and default values, that is function 1 name comma 16 and function 1 Padma comma age. So you have seen the input and sample inputs and outputs. So let me run this code, that is F5. So okay. See, here we have to give the input as Padma. No, we have to give the age as okay. So the output has been displayed in the ideally Python. So see students, this is the output of our that code. So let's move on to the next topic, that is introduction to lambda function in Python. A lambda function is an anonymous function, which means it is a function without a name. Regular functions are defined using the def keyword. Anonymous functions are defined using the lambda keyword. Therefore, anonymous functions are also called lambda functions. Syntax: lambda arguments expression. Features of lambda function. Lambda functions can be used whenever regular function objects are required. They can accept any number of arguments. They can contain only one expression. The expression is evaluated and it results in automatically returned. Lambda functions do not require the return keyword. They are commonly used with functions like map, filter, sorted. So let us see the first example, that is square of a number. So here we have, let me show in the ideally Python. Let me open the script mode. See, the output as produced as the square number of 5, that is 25. Next example, that is equivalent. This is the normal code, but now the equivalent lambda function, that is square lambda is equal to lambda x x colon x into x. See students, this is the lambda function for that printing the square of a number. So square lambda is equal to lambda x, that is x into x. Then print square lambda x of 5. So let me run it. F5, then okay. See students, the result has been produced as the normal function, that is square of a number. So moving on to the next example, that is addition of two numbers. Add is equal to lambda a comma b, whereas a plus b. Print add 10 comma 20. The output will be 30. Same as for the example of printing find the largest number. Here instead of if else loop, we can give the this function, that is largest is equal to lambda a comma b, that is a, if a comma b, a is greater than b, else b. This is the simple condition for lambda function. So print largest of 15 comma 18, the output will be 15. So advantages of lambda functions: short and concise syntax, you have seen here. This is the one line condition, but whereas if we give an if or else statement, it will be like a line of 5 to 6 statements. No need to define a separate function using def. You have seen that only the variable largest is given here. So useful for simple and one line operations. Commonly used with higher order functions like map, filter and sorted. I have already discussed before. So moving to the next topic, that is using lambda functions with filter. The filter function is used to filter elements from an iteration where based on a condition. Syntax: filter function comma iterable. Function: a function that returns true or false. Iterable: a list, a tuple, or a iterable object. Example: numbers is the iterable, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 has been in the list. Then even numbers, that is a function, that is list of filter of lambda n, that is n mod 2 double equal to 0 numbers. So this is the variable has to store the lambda function as to print the even numbers. So output will be 2 comma 4 comma 6. Explanation: lambda n is to n mod 2 double equal to 0 checks whether a number is even. Filter keeps only the elements for which the condition is true. List converts the filtered result into a list. So I have explained a new topic, that is using lambda with filter function. So let's move on to the next topic. Even if you assign a lambda to a variable, that is like lambda square number, it is still considered anonymous. Since it wasn't defined with def, Python recognizes it as a lambda. Example: square lambda, nam, etc. So let me show another example, that is in ideally Python. That is double num is equal to lambda a, such as a star 2, that is to multiple a number with 2 to double that. Print double num, that is the function, A is equal to int of input of A. So let me run the function, that is F5. So here, let me give the number as 6. So the output has been be 12. 12 has been displayed. So moving to the next, that is understanding map functions. So the map function is used to apply a given function to each element of a sequence, that is list or a tuple, and produce a new transformed collection. It is considered way to process and transform data. So let me give the syntax. Syntax of map function, that is map parenthesis open function comma iterable parameters function, a function to apply to each element. Item, a collection of items such as list, tuple, set, or dictionary. Returns, an iterator containing the transformed elements. You can convert it to list or tuple if needed. How map works? Suppose we have a list of numbers. That is, numbers is the list variable 1, 2, 3, 4, and a function that returns the square of number. So def f of x, where return x, that is, this is exponential symbol to the power 2. The apply the map function, map f comma numbers. Python applies the function f to each element individually. F of 1, that is 1 to the power 2, is 1. F of 2, that is 2 to the power 2, that is 4. Then f of 3, that is 3 to the power 2, that is 9. Then f of 4, that is 4 to the power 2, that is equal to 16. So the result is 1, 4, 9, 16. Since map returns an iterator converted into a list, square is equal to list of map of f comma numbers. Print squares. So it will print the list of, convert the iterator into the map function into list. So it will print the result in the list form. Using map with lambda function, numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, square is the lambda function has been settled in the square, that is a variable. List of map of lambda x such as x to the power 2 numbers. Print squares. So the same output has been produced where only using the map function with the lambda function also gives the same output. Another example. Convert all numbers into string. Numbers equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. Result is equal to list of map of str of number. Print result. So given type is in the form of list. So we have changed the list into strings. So the output is string 10, string 20, string 30, and string 40. So moving upon to the next topic, that is lambda, that is x is to x to the power 2, is an inline function that is a square of a number. Map applies the function to each element in numbers. List converts the resulting iterator into list so it can be printed. The provided code in the editor takes the list of integers from the user and prints the list of square of the integer elements. So the next example is for converting all numbers to string. That you have understand the both example codes. So let's move on to the next topic, that is filter function. Understanding filter function in Python. The filter function applies a given function to each element, those in sequence, and return only those elements that satisfy the specific condition. It is commonly used with lambda function to filter data. Syntax: filter parenthesis open function iterable parameters. Function: a function that returns true or false. Iterable: a collection of elements, that is list, tuple, set, etc. Returns: an iterator containing only the elements for which the function returns true. Example 1, common elements from two lists, that is a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. Then b is equal to 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 8. Result is equal to list of filter of lambda x in a comma b, where print result. Then output will be 2, 3, 7, 9. Explanation: lambda x such as x is in a check whether element of list b exists in list A. Filter keeps only the matching elements. List converts the filter objects into a list. So let me run this code. So we have to check common elements in two lists. So Control C, move to ideally Python. It will be very useful for us to understand. See students, I have given the code here. So let us run that. So here the result has been displayed. So you could have understood what is filter function. So now let's move to let's move to another example, that is printing even numbers. Number is equal to that the list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even numbers is equal to lambda function list of filter of lambda x that such as x module 2 that double equal to 0, comma numbers. Print even numbers. So the output will be like 2, 4, 6, 8. So such as the example 3 contains printing the odd numbers. Example 4 is the filtering strings with length greater than 4. Name is equal to Ram, Ashwin, John, Karthik, Anu. Result is equal to list of filter of lambda x. Let me run this code. So let us see the fourth example in ideally Python. That is filtering strings that has been the length has been the greater than 4. So this is the example code, that is given list name is equal to Ram, Ashwin, John, Karthik, Anu. Result is equal to list of filter of lambda x, that is x such that a length of x greater than 4. Names. Then print the result. So let us give F5. Then we can save it, it will be running. So the output is the list of the names that this contains Ashwin and Karthik. So let's move on to the next topic, that is understanding reduce function. Difference between map function and filter function. Map function transforms every element, but filter function select only one matching element. Map functions apply to a function to all elements. Filter function applies a condition to all elements. Map returns transformed values. Filter returns elements that satisfy the condition. Map function can return any value. Filter function must return true or false. So let us move to the next topic, that is understanding reduced function. Understanding reduced function in Python. The reduced function applies to a given function, that is cumulatively to the elements of an iterable, that is such as list or tuple, reducing the sequence to a single value. The reduce function is part of the func tool module, so it is most important for use. Syntax. From func tools, import reduce. Reduce functions, iterable. Parameters. Function. A function takes two arguments, accumulator and current element. Iterable. A collection of items, list, tuple, dictionary, set, etc. Returns a single value after applying the function cumulatively. How reduce function works. Suppose we have a list of numbers. Numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and a function that adds two numbers, that is def of add a, b. Return a plus b. Apply the reduce function. From func tools, import reduce. Result is equal to reduce of add, number. Print the result. Then step by step execution. Step 1. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. So the output is 10. So using reduce function with the lambda function. From func tools import reduce. Numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, that is a list. Result is equal to reduce of lambda of a, b such that a plus b, numbers. Print result. The output is 10. So the same as to find the products of two numbers. From func tool import reduce. So let me give the first example in the sorry let me give the example 2 in the ideally Python, which is from func tool up to print product, that is control C. Let me show the program and the result in the ideally Python, that is ideally where. So the result 120 has been displayed. So students, let's move to the advantages of reduce function. Reduce an iterable to a single value. Eliminate the need of explicit loops. Work efficiently with lambda functions, useful for cumulative operations such as sum, product, maximum and minimum, and average also. Produces constraints and readable code. Difference between the comparison of map, filter, and reduce. Map transforms every element, iterate of transformed values. Filter select elements based on condition, iterates for matching elements. Reduce combines all elements into one value, single value. So, example, from func tool import reduce, numbers is equal to list of 5 numbers, then print list of map of lambda x such that x into 2, that is doubling number. Second statement, print list of filter of lambda x, that is such that x model 2 double equal to 0 comma numbers, where it checks the number is even or odd. Then the last statement, that is print of reduce of lambda a comma b such that a plus b comma numbers. Here it gives the sum of two numbers. So let me work out in the ideally Python. So control C. Let me open the script mode for the execution of this code. So see students, the program has been displayed in the script mode. So let me run it. F5. Let's save it. Then see, students, the result has been given in the interactive mode. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then the even numbers, that is 2, 4 up to 6. Then the sum of all 10 digits, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that is 15. So let's move to the next topic. Understanding reduce function in Python. The reduce function applies to a given function, that is cumulatively to the elements of an iterable, that is such as list or tuple, reducing the sequence to a single value. The reduce function is part of the func tool module, so it is most important for use. Syntax. From func tools, import reduce. Reduce functions, iterable. Parameters. Function. A function takes two arguments, accumulator and current element. Iterable. A collection of items, list, tuple, dictionary, set, etc. Returns a single value after applying the function cumulatively. How reduce function works. Suppose we have a list of numbers. Numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and a function that adds two numbers, that is def of add a, b. Return a plus b. Apply the reduce function. From func tools, import reduce, result is equal to reduce of add, number. Print the result. Then step by step execution. Step 1. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. So the output is 10. So using reduce function with the lambda function. From func tools import reduce. Numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, that is a list. Result is equal to reduce of lambda of a, b such that a plus b, numbers. print result. The output is 10. So the same as to find the products of two numbers from func tool import reduce. So let me give the first example in the sorry let me give the example 2 in the ideally Python, which is from func tool up to print product, that is control C. Let me show the program and the result in the ideally Python, that is ideally where. So the result 120 has been displayed. So students, let's move to the advantages of reduce function. Reduce an iterable to a single value. Eliminate the need of explicit loops. Work efficiently with lambda functions, useful for cumulative operations such as sum, product, maximum and minimum, and average also. Produces constraints and readable code. Difference between the comparison of map, filter, and reduce. Map transforms every element, iterate of transformed values. Filter select elements based on condition, iterates for matching elements. Reduce combines all elements into one value, single value. So, example, from func tool import reduce, numbers is equal to list of 5 numbers, then print list of map of lambda x as z, x into 2, that is doubling number. Second statement, print list of filter of lambda x, that is such that x model 2 double equal to 0 comma numbers, where it checks the number is even or odd. Then the last statement, that is print of reduce of lambda a comma b such that a plus b comma numbers. Here it gives the sum of two numbers. So let me work out in the ideally Python. So control C. Let me open the script mode for the execution of this code. So see students, the program has been displayed in the script mode. So let me run it. F5. Let's save it. Then see, students, the result has been given in the interactive mode. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then the even numbers, that is 2, 4 up to 6. Then the sum of all 10 digits, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that is 15. So let's move to the next topic. Local and global variables in Python. Variables in Python are classified into local variables and global variables based on where they are declared and where they can be accessed. First, local variable. A local variable is declared inside a function and can accessed only within that function. Syntax: def of function name, then variable name is equal to value. Example: def student, name is equal to Ashwin, that is local variable. Print name, that is, it will be giving the output as Ashwin. So name is created inside the function. It exists only while the function is executed. It can't be accessed outside the function. Example showing error. Def of student, name is equal to student. Then student print name, output, name error. Name is found to be not defined. Second, moving to global variable. A global variable is declared outside a function and can be accessed from anywhere in the following iteration loops. Syntax: variable name is equal to value. Def variable name, print variable name. Example: college, LPU. Def student, print college, that is college name. Student, print college, where output will be college LPU, then LPU. Explanation: College is declared outside the function. It can be accessed both inside and the outside. Using the global keyword to modify a global variable inside a function, use the global keyword. Example, count is equal to 10, def update, global count, then count 20, update. Then the output will be like print count, then output will be like 20. Explanation. Global counts tells Python to use the global variable instead of creating a local one. The value of count is updated globally. Difference between local and global variable. Local variable declared inside a function, accessible only within that function, created when the function is called, destroyed after the function executes. Where in global variable declared outside all functions, accessible throughout the function, exists throughout the program execution, then remains available until the program ends. So let us see two examples of global and local variable. Conclusion. Local variables are accessed only within the function in which they are created. Global variables are accessible throughout the program. Then use the global keyword when you need to modify a global variable inside a function. So let's move on to next. That topic is now the Python random modules. Python random modules. The random module is used to generate random numbers and perform random operation. It is widely used in games, simulations, cryptography, testing, and data analysis. Importing the module. Import module random.choice, that is sequence. Return a random element from a non-empty sequence such as list, tuple, or string. Syntax random.choice of sequence. Example, import random sequence is equal to all the alphabet letters from A to Z. Then print random dot choice of sequence. Then output will be like it will be printing random numbers. So let me implement in ideally Python. Control C. So now import random. The example has been given here. So let me run it F5. So okay, then D. Again F5. It'll run Y. Again F5. Again F5. It'll run E. So see students, the random choice gives the random output, that is D, Y, E, etc. So next, moving upon to the random dot shuffle. Random randomly rearranges, shuffles the elements of a list. So random dot shuffle of list. Example, import random numbers equal to 10, 20, 2, 3, 1. Random dot shuffle numbers. Print numbers possible output 3, 10, 1, 20, 2. Note, shuffle modifies the original list and returns none. Third one, random dot random returns a random integer between a and b, both inclusive. Syntax, random dot random a comma b. Example, import random, print random dot random 1, 5, print random dot random 1, 5. So possible output will be like 2 and 5. So let me run the shuffle and random function. So from here we have to copy this. Control C. Then let us open. So let me copy the next also. That is random.random. So F5 has been given. So see students, the both output has been printed. That is, first one has the shuffled list, then second one is the random dot random. That is the random numbers from the given two border numbers. That the two border numbers are inclusive. So the next function, that is random dot c. Wait once again. Let me move to the notepad. Next one is random dot c. A is equal to none. Sets the starting points from the random number generated. Starting point that before we conclude this lecture, here are some practice questions for you. Try to solve them on your own before watching the next lecture. The some theory questions are: what is function in Python? What are the advantages of using functions? What is the difference between built-in functions and user-defined functions? What is the purpose of def keyword? What is the difference between a function definition and a function call? Can a function be called multiple times? Explain. Name some commonly used built-in functions in Python. Programming questions. Write a function to display the multiplication table of 5. Write a function to print all even numbers from 1 to 10. Write a program that uses both a built-in function and user-defined function to calculate the sum of and average of two numbers. So, thank you so much for watching lecture 3 of our Python full course. In this lecture, we have learned about one of the most important concepts in Python programming, that is functions. Next, we will be exploring the types of functions. We have started by understanding a function is, why functions are important and how they help us to write clean, reusable and modular code. We also learned the difference between built-in functions and user-defined functions and saw how to define and call our own functions using def keyword. After that, we have explained so many common built-in mathematical functions like abs, power, round, max, min, sum, ceil, floor, square root, tan, means trigonometric functions also we have covered. These concepts are fundamentals to Python programming. So make sure you practice all the examples and solve the practice questions before moving on. If you found this lecture helpful, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming lectures. In the next lecture, we will begin with a new topic, that is strings in Python. We will learn how to create Python strings, access characters using indexing, performing slicing, apply string operators, and using popular string methods with real-world examples and hand-on programs. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep coding. Thank you, and I will see you in the next lecture. Happy coding!